Good afternoon, folks. I know it's Labor Day and all, but I'm going to go ahead and start covering this. We are now at Section 1303, which is page number 50 of the health care bill. And I'm going to tell you this right now. This is probably going to be the most controversial set of videos you have ever seen in your entire life. And here's the reason why. The liberals come on television now all the time and they say, well, we'll never ever pay for an abortion with government funds. And the conservatives go on there and say, oh yes, you're going to pay for these with federal funds. It says so in your health care bill. So who's right? Well, the liberals and the conservatives are wrong. They're all wrong, believe it or not. Every last one of them is wrong. You say, well, how can they both be wrong? Well, I'm going to show you this. To find the answer, we have to go to Section 1303, which is special rules relating to coverage of abortion services. Now, it says voluntary choice of coverage of abortion services. There's a Section A, and there's also a Section B. I'm now going to take you to Section B. Ready? Coming down. Now, I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to say this real plain and clear. The liberal lie is just a flat-out lie. The conservative lie is more of a misinterpretation of what they have read in the health care bill. I find the liberal lie more serious than this conservative lie. A misinterpretation of what you're reading is a little different than flat out just lying to the people. Saying, oh, we didn't say this, but yet you did. To prove the liberal lie is real easy. To prove the conservative lie is a little bit harder. We're going to get to both. Where's the liberal lie? It's in Section B, right here, in paragraph 2. Let's read it together, shall we? Abortions for which public funding is allowed. There it is. There's the liberal lie. They say that we'll never ever use government funds to pay for abortions yet. Right there it is. Abortions for which public funding is allowed. Let's go on. Let's read the whole paragraph. The services described in this clause are abortions for which the expenditure of federal funds appropriated for the Department of Health and Human Services is permitted, based on the law as in effect as of the date that is 6 months before the beginning of the plan year involved. You can't get it more plain than that. Federal funds, abortions for which public funding is allowed. That is it in a nutshell. The liberals have lied, flat out, with a straight face, they lied to you. And that's wrong. Now you say, well, what about the conservatives? They're going to just bite on this, and they're going to just tell everybody that the government lied to you about the abortion thing. Well, they can bite all they want, except for one thing. As you will notice, Part B has 2 paragraphs. Not just one, but 2. Here's the other paragraphs. Abortions for which public funding is prohibited. That means that the government is not always going to give you the federal funds to pay for the abortion. That means some abortions they're going to pay for and some abortions they're not. Now the question is, which abortions is the government going to pay for? That's the question. So there's the conservative lie. The conservatives are saying, well, the government's going to pay for every single abortion. That's not true. Because it says, abortions for which public funding is prohibited, the services described in this clause are abortions for which the expenditure of federal funds appropriated for the Department of Health and Human Services is not permitted, based on the law as in effect as of the date that is 6 months before the beginning of the plan year involved. So therefore, sometimes the government will pay for the abortion and sometimes they won't. Now the question is, which ones? To find that is going to take the expertise of flowcharting. Who knows flowcharting better than a data processor? Well, guess what? You have a master data processor right here before your very eyes who's going to flowchart this for you and show you which abortions the government are going to pay for and which ones they're not. So for all you liberals who think you're going to rush into those abortion mills and suddenly get your abortions and the government's going to pay for it, you might want to pay attention. because in this set of videos you're going to find out it didn't work that way. So, that's what this next set of videos is going to be dedicated to, is showing you which abortions the government's going to pay for and which ones they're not. Plain and simple. And it's going to take a while. So before you make any final judgment about the conservatives, you might want to watch all these videos and then take it for yourself. It's going to take a while to explain all this. And it's not going to be explained in a day. I can tell you that right now. So, alright. At this point, I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to go through this step by step and tell you which abortions the government's going to pay for and which ones they're not. And until then, I will say this is Ted the Speed Learner signing off. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.